Pathfinders. They're the parachute regiment's elite combat troops. They've never been filmed before. The platoon has a simple motto. First in. Operating alone, they go further and deeper into the heart of enemy territory than any other regular unit. It's early morning, it's freezing cold, and it's Kent. They're training. It's just days before their deployment into Afghanistan. Led by Major Matt Taylor, there's just 45 men in this elite corps.
This would be very much the high end of the warfighting spectrum, so this would be a last resort.
They'll form a vital part of the ongoing mission against the Taliban.
We're there to find them, to disrupt them and to locate them, and then pass that information back for the rest of the brigade.
All the guys within the Pathfinders are volunteers, so they all want to be here, they want to be doing the job, so in terms of their sort of professionalism and their abilities, they're probably at a higher level than a mainstream battalion.
It's a job that appeals to me, you know, it's actual, you know, it's almost down to you and your rifle. It's sort of one man and his kit. You know, if you're squared and your equipment's squared and your personal skills are on top form, then everything else will fall into place.
Red! Up!
The platoon's greatest asset is their ability to survive for long periods with little need of assistance.
They're professional soldiers, hugely reliant on their own self-confidence, their own daring spirit, and a high degree of self-reliance.
Their self-sufficiency depends a great deal on their equipment. They're the first unit to take the brand new Jackal armoured reconnaissance truck into battle. Each one costs £640,000. It's an all-terrain vehicle, it's armoured for protection against roadside bombs or IEDs, but it's never been used in anger before. We're the first journalists allowed to film and live with the Pathfinders as they find and engage with the Taliban in southern Afghanistan, the most dangerous place on earth. This is the Pathfinders' new home, and they'll be here for the next 6 months. Their compound at the huge Camp Bastion base of the British military is the hub of their activities. They've only been here a few days, but Matt Taylor has already planned the soldiers' first mission into the remotest part of Afghanistan. Operation Talanda is a 6-week mission, from Bastion up the Musakala Valley to the furthest point of Helmand Province, the Kajaki Dam, and the central Badlands of Afghanistan. It's an enormous blind spot, with the district of Zamindavar at its heart. As part of the deal to allow me to join them in battle, the Pathfinders insisted I learned how to use the commander's machine gun. I did, but on condition that as a journalist, I'd not be expected to fire. The men are practicing and familiarising themselves with their new kit.
Let's go and meet some of the characters, shall we? Who do we have here? Our first contestants.
And trying out our own cameras.
We have one of the Alia men of the platoon. As you see, this season's wear consists of plate carrier, alley pistol, contraband shoes. We have a man known as Foz. Women want to be with him, men want to be him. Look at that t-shirt.
Seems like you guys are looking to get up close and personal.
Oh yeah, that's the camel. He's the driver, makes camel noises. It's his responsibility to keep us alive by not putting the vehicle on its roof. This is our vehicle, also known as Dakota. Here we have your general purpose machine gun. Here we've got two javelins, probably about £150,000 worth of missile. My weapon of choice, the 40mm grenade machine gun. We've got about 200 litres of water on this bad boy, 150 litres of fuel. Another good weapon, the 50 cal machine gun. Today we're going out on a patrol where no other conventional forces have been for a while.
Out from Camp Bastion and day one of the mission. 3 men to a truck, they'll eat, sleep and fight from the vehicles for the next 6 weeks. The task to disrupt the Taliban and bring home intelligence from the most remote areas where the influence of the Kabul government is scant and where Western forces rarely make an appearance. The Pathfinder's mission has started, but it's already stopped. It's day 2 and the fuel line's broken on a Jackal vehicle. We've pulled into Forward Operating Base Edinburgh, which is in the north of Helmand Province. As you can see, the line of trucks has been here overnight. They're going to stay here for at least the rest of the day. Some of the guys, as you can see, just walking past, they've been living on the outside of the truck here. As soon as the part arrives and is fixed, then the Pathfinders will move out to begin their proper mission.
And that's it, 50 press-ups, innit?
Mac, the cruelest patrol commander, making his men do push-ups.
Look into the camera, boy.
I'm looking in the camera. Give me tea. How many you done now?
He played the game. He lost.
How's it going, mate?
Not bad, mate. Be good when I get this on.
At least it arrived, eh?
Yeah.
The Pathfinders prefer the desert. They'll be there the next day. The destination is Amindavar, 3 days of driving. It lies in a crucial part of Helmand Province, allocated to the British as part of the NATO-led International Security Force, or ISAF. Helmand is Afghanistan's largest province, and the Taliban are here in large numbers. Its people are hostile to all outsiders, deeply religious and conservative. The remote communities cling to the so-called green zone, a narrow strip of vegetation where the river runs through the desert. Its opium poppies make this the greatest source of the world's heroin. It's lethal territory. Zamindavar is beyond safety. The soldiers are tense as they approach. Intelligence chatter indicates key Taliban commanders live here. Well within range, they sit and wait. Will the Taliban attack? Orders are to provoke a response, to test their firepower, to stir things up. That's an RPG. They engage.
I think it might have been an RPG fired from a motorcycle. We saw a bike going across very fast, and we saw a plume of smoke in front of us.
A show of force from a Harrier jet. The Pathfinders are looking for firing points.
Now, if there's nothing firing back, let's just delay sort of 5 minutes. The minute they open up again, we'll do it. I just want to see if they stop. I don't want to give all our cards away in one go.
That's the whistle of incoming rounds. That's closer. The fighting intensifies.
All call signs. Watch 0 Charlie Tracer. Watch Tango, watch my Tracer.
Small arms fall short, but mortars smash into the desert next to the Jackal trucks. We're on their territory. Their weapons are ranged on this spot.
Opal 80 Alpha, Opal 80 Alpha, this is a finder, a 1-4 radio check, over.
The men can call on artillery and air support, but radio communications are down.
Send it through those means.
The request for long-range artillery has to be routed via a landline at headquarters.
A broadsword 0, finder 1-4, continuing fire mission, a Taliban mortar team.
You got IDF at the rear, yeah?
They see a lone motorcyclist behind them.
Looks like smoke. Looks like they're adjusting it on, mate. Right, hold on. You see where they follow the left-hand track down from there? One lone side. Yeah?
They think he's firing, or at least spotting, for the Taliban. The Taliban have the experience. They've been defending this pass since the Russians first came.
Around behind us, Jim. Landed it.
Yeah.
On the other side. They're talking about moving the call sign north.
They manoeuvre to a new firing point, but the Taliban have moved closer as well.
Very small, very active now. It's coming up on the left side.
A long-range artillery round goes in, fired from over 50 miles away, but there's an instant return of fire. And they just keep firing back. Mortars land just yards away.
Behind us, 50 feet, 50 metres.
The Pathfinders up the ante again. Sergeant Scotty Patterson calls for a multiple airstrike.
4-1, that's a good copy. I'll give you a set as soon as we've got the rounds on the ground.
Enormous bombs smash into the compounds where the firing's been coming from. It's the largest drop of ordnance on a single target recorded in this part of the war in Afghanistan. But within minutes, it was clear just how tough the Taliban are. They attack again.
Incoming.
That's 2 rounds in the same place.
Yeah, told you, DF the pass. Yeah, we need to fucking move.
With light fading, the Pathfinders have moved to a defensive camp for the night. Incredibly, it's only 1,500 metres back from the compounds, at the foot of the pass, into the next valley.
Good contact today?
Nice. Read back 4-1 Sierra.
So Matt, what about today? What do you learn?
Well, our task was to come in here and basically get information on enemy forces and local nationals. I think we quite quickly found the enemy forces.
No, the RPG was the first one. Yeah, that went over the top of the two. Yeah.
For about 40 k's all the way to here, we'd been watched in and channelled in by the enemy.
And then the second one landed slightly behind it? Or
yeah, behind.
They've obviously got a couple of well-trained mortar fire controllers up here somewhere. So we used basically air power to hit the targets that they were identified at.
Because they can just move around on the mopeds fast and furious, we can't get too close to them with the wagons. It's a bit of a Mickey Mouse game, really, try to get in. And,
the impression we were getting from the various feeds was that they were quite surprised we were here.
All right, Mark.
I'm good, mate, thanks.
Was it hurt?
Yeah. Minor ailments.
It may seem like we didn't achieve much, but we actually found a quite large grouping of the enemy in a certain location, which all adds value at the higher level.
And that gets passed up, that's the point.
Of course, that was passed immediately, and longer syrups will follow during the evening.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well done. Well done, sir.
In this environment, each man needs 11 litres of water a day, but even then, it barely quenches the thirst. It's beautiful but hostile here, dangerously so. It's freezing in winter,